Sorry this is always so monochromatically black when I'm talking in the car. I know I dress like a Sicilian widow, but topic of the day, the lure of the middle class. The disappearing middle class, trying to hang on to the middle class and slipping back every day. This is what I was talking to Frugal Daddy about this morning. And I kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, I kind of want to live like this, and I kind of want to lighten up here. But then, we don't have the money for that. No, we can't. We have to be frugal. And no, but I really want the kids to have da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. And why can't we live like middle-class people? And why am I not moving? Why is traffic not moving? So, the disappearing middle class. Well, they say the middle class is disappearing. And for those of us who are in the middle class, we feel the pinch. Oh, yes, we do. Why is the middle class disappearing when supposedly unemployment is down? Supposedly the economic crisis is over. More people are at work. The economy is fine. It's okay. Give big businesses and rich people their tax breaks, because you know they're not just going to pocket the profits. Oh no, they're going to spend, and it will trickle down to those of us down here. Oh, trickle down on me, wealth. I am in the middle class, statistically speaking, and I feel like I'm hanging on by a thread. I do share middle class values, like the value of hard work, education, being independent, paying your way. And if that means eating food out of a dumpster, well, that's what that means. Why can't people hang on to the middle class? I mean, if you're still employed, shouldn't you be able to maintain your middle class lifestyle? Obviously, if you lose your job, then go to my video on what you should do if you lose your job, because you've got to make some adjustments right away. But if you're in work and you've been working consistently, why? Why can't we hang on to the middle class? Why, Santa Claus, why? Here's my astute analysis of it as a financial wizard and top-notch economist. It seems to me in my own life, prices have gone up. Yes, prices do go up. However, my salary has not gone up. And not only just because I took a demotion, so I have a job that just pays less in general. Not that. I mean, when I had the same job for 11 years, my pay wasn't going up. We weren't even getting our yearly cost of living increase, and we haven't gotten our yearly pay raises in years. Prices go up, property taxes go up, the price of gas goes up. Yes, I'm at the gas station right now. The price of everything goes up, but my salary is not. And they told us, hey, the economy's suffering. Just be glad you have a job. And believe me, we were. But hey, now the economy's doing better, right? That's what you're telling us. Of course, the cost of housing is ridiculous, and the scarcity of affordable housing means you have people who are actually employed, but who are homeless. There are homeless people who have jobs all over this country and can't afford housing. That's insane. That's a national tragedy. That's something that maybe our president should be looking into. So what is it we expect to have in our middle class lifestyle? Now granted, my housing cost is way too high, because that's over half of our take-home pay every month. And I recall that people were supposed to budget 1/3 of their pay for housing. I don't know if that's still the rule of thumb, because I think a lot of people pay half or over half of their income for housing. But I think middle class people would like to assume that they're going to be stable in their housing. Basically, every month when I pay my mortgage, I do a happy dance. I'm excited because I think, yeah, we have another month of having a place to live. Yay! What do you think you should be able to do if you're middle class? That I think a lot of us feel like we can't. I'd like to be able to go to the movies once in a while. I used to love going to the movies. I used to go to every movie. But the price of movies, I remember very well when the price of movies went up to $9 in New York City, and it was $7 in New Jersey. This was clearly a long time ago. I've been around quite a long time. And I thought, that's ludicrous. I know New York is expensive, but $9 for a movie? That's insane. I don't even know what it costs now because I haven't gone to the movies in 5 years. But I think a bargain matinee is $10. And if you think I'm not sneaking in my own popcorn, then you're just kidding yourself, because I am, if I ever go again. Should middle class be able to take it for granted that, yes, you'll be able to go on a vacation every year, yes, you can afford to go to Disney World? I would kind of like to be able to take it for granted that I could take my kids to Disney World every year. That's what I would like to think. Or some other vacation that might not be as expensive, like a week on Cape Cod in the summer, or something, somewhere. I don't know that I'll ever be able to take that for granted. Now I digress. Now I'm going down a rabbit hole. But you know, I watch all these documentaries on poor people and the working poor and homeless and poor families and breadline Britain, and people have to use soup kitchens and all that, right? We know I'm obsessed with all that poverty stuff. So invariably, people will leave comments on these videos. You have two types of comments. You have people who are like, I'm praying for them, you know, I've been poor, I've been homeless, it was horrible, but I got out of it, and bless these people, and that kind of thing. Then you have the people who are saying, hey, if you can't afford to raise your kids, you shouldn't have kids. It's your own damn problem. And I understand that sentiment of, if you can't afford to have kids, don't have kids. I get that. But let's just jump right back into reality and stay there. People are going to have children. Poor people are going to have children. Human beings on this planet would like to have a family. Few people are going to choose to remain childless because they are too poor to have children. Some people might make that choice, but we know a lot of people who live in dire poverty all over the world still have children. It's a natural human desire to have a family. So, there are going to be children born to poorer people. What kind of world do we want to live in? What kind of society do we want to live in? Do we want to have millions of children in our very own country who go to bed hungry at night, who live in poverty? When you look at the poverty and homelessness rates, a third to a half of the people are children. Obviously, something has to be done for the future benefit of our society, even though that's not what I was planning on talking about, because I wanted to talk about the plight of the middle class. It always comes back to children and the poor, and what kind of a world do we want to live in? When I get to thinking about all the children living in poverty, I think, really? Really, Amy? Your worry is about being able to afford to go to Disney World every year? And yet, that's what I would like to be able to provide for my children. Or, like I said, some form of vacation. As a person in the middle class, yes, I would like to be able to do that. I would. I'm not saying I'm entitled to it. And that brings up the topic of, are human beings entitled to anything? Again, I have heard conservative people voice the opinion that nobody's entitled to anything. You have to work for what you get in this world. And I don't begrudge the rich people their money because they worked for it and they can do whatever they want with it. Okay, I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree. Because I think as a population of human beings, as the brotherhood and sisterhood of all humankind, as children of God, we have to think about what kind of society do we want to live in? What kind of world do we want this to be? Do we want a society of ultra-rich and billionaires, the top 0.1%, and everybody else mired in poverty and despair, dark despair, and children in our own communities going to bed hungry, wearing rags, going to school smelly, not having enough food? Really? That's the kind of world we want to live in? I was thinking yesterday as I was driving around lost, I was thinking about Margaret Atwood. She writes these futuristic, dystopian type scenarios in her novels, which are very interesting and an enjoyable read. And I started thinking, I think we're living in dystopia now. When I look back on my childhood in the 70s and compare that to what life is like now, I think, no, we've hit the modern dystopia. It kind of looks okay here and there, but I think we're in it now. The middle class and the lower class have a lot more in common than you'd think. The middle class might have a nicer zip code and a more stable job, and everybody is anxious and everybody is scrambling to survive because, no, there's not enough to go around anymore because those at the top are hoarding the wealth for themselves. And I think we know trickle-down economics doesn't work. Does not the almighty being we recognize as God call to us to take care of those who are less fortunate? Isn't that a component of all religions? Is there a moral obligation on this planet for there to be more equity? Human beings all over this planet. When you're a baby born on the planet Earth, do you have any rights, or are you just supposed to fend for yourself in the pool of piranha? I think every human being born on this planet deserves food, clean water, a set of clothing, and a roof over their head. That's pretty frickin' basic. Yes, I think everybody deserves that. I think if you looked at this planet from an objective viewpoint, like from some little spaceman from Mars, looking at all our human cultures, wouldn't they kind of wonder, why do some people get so much and those others are just left starving? Why have they decided to do it that way? What is so special about that one that he gets everything? What is so bad about those ones that they get nothing? In fact, they get to actually starve to death. Do you know how many children starve to death every day on this planet? A lot! I don't know how many. I forget the number, but it's a lot. Every second, like there goes another one, there goes another one, there goes another one. Really? That's the kind of world we want to live in? You know there's enough food on this planet to feed everybody. You do know that, right? There is. Jesus, just the amount of food that's thrown away in American dumpsters every year could probably feed everybody on the planet. The problem is getting the food to the people. Oh, but this planet definitely has enough resources to feed everybody. Yes, I think there is a moral obligation on human beings to make sure that all other human beings are taken care of. Yes, I did. I do not think just because you earned that money, you have the right, Koch brothers and other rich people, to just do whatever the hell you want with it. Nor do I think that the government should just take a step back and deregulate everything so the rich people can just rape and pillage the environment and drill for oil and do whatever the hell they want to do to exploit the earth just so they can have more money, because the billions they have aren't really enough already. I know I'm probably preaching to the choir because I really doubt that there are a whole lot of conservative Republicans and populists who are watching Frugal Mommy. People who struggle financially are more likely to give a crap about poor people. I think we are much more likely to help poor people than are the super rich who can actually afford it. I'm not talking about Bill and Melinda Gates. They do a lot to help other people. I respect them. They're very committed to finding ways to make sure people all over the world, in third world countries or developing countries, whatever you want to call them, have access to clean water. Do you know how many people on this planet don't have clean water? Or are you saying that that's not a basic need? I think people deserve clean water. I think it should be free. Well, I'm going to have to end my rant here because I'm almost at work. I know, I went spinning out of control on a whole bunch of topics. So to recap, the middle class is disappearing. It's hard to stay middle class and enjoy things traditionally that middle class people could have in their lifestyles because things are too expensive now and our incomes are not going up. Should be taking care of the poor. Yes, the rich people and the corporations should be paying their fair share, not getting tax breaks. And now I have to figure out how to fix it all because just ranting about it doesn't really get us anywhere. All right, so let's come up with a plan, people, okay?